I really want my friends to like you. Can you please try a little harder? So why don't your friends like me? I mean, I've just told them the stuff we've been through, like the cheating you've done on me and all the other stuff. Well, that's actually your own fault. You shouldn't have told them that. That's why I'm a private person. So I shouldn't have told anybody anything, right? Just kept it to myself. I mean, yeah. I mean, you took me back. So why are you telling everybody if you're gonna take me back? Like, so you didn't forgive me? Yes, I did forgive you, but I need you to take some accountability and work a little harder to mend these relationships. I'm not working harder to mend something that I did not break. You broke it by telling them that. So your cheating had nothing to do with this, correct? They would not have known I was cheating if you wouldn't have told them, and you wouldn't have went through my phone. I went through your phone because I had my intuition kicked in. I didn't trust you. So you invaded my privacy because you didn't trust me, because you have trust issues from your dad, right? Don't bring my dad into this. I didn't bring your dad into it. You did. What is going on, beautiful people? Welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. I am your host, your favorite self-aware narcissist, Mr. Lee Hammock, also known as Mental Illness from TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. The point of my entire platform as a diagnosed narcissist is to bring awareness to narcissistic personality disorder and to, in the process, validate the victims and survivors of this disorder as well. This series right here, A Narcissist Explains, is all about me going into detail on my TikToks. So in this TikTok right here, as you can see, the narcissist and his current ex-partner or whatever are having a conversation. It should be a simple conversation about the narcissist trying to, mend some relationships that have been, broken over time. So as you all probably know, narcissists love to isolate people. Narcissists love to isolate, the survivors and, their partners or whoever that they are with. They love to isolate you from your friends, your family, pretty much isolate you from anybody, because it's easier to control you if a narcissist can get you by yourself. If a narcissist can get you alone, and it's kind of like hunting. Like, this is a terrible analogy, y'all, but I use this analogy because it just makes sense. It's kind of like hunting. If the lion can get the gazelle away from the herd, it's easier to get that one gazelle as opposed to trying to fight through 15, 20 gazelles with one lion. You know what I mean? So they like to try to get you away because the people are easier to control if you have no support system. If the only person that you can lean on is the narcissist. See how that makes sense. So in this situation right here, the narcissist, got caught cheating. Of course, narcissists, all narcissists cheat. Not all of them cheat. But this narcissist in particular got caught cheating, and he automatically put it back onto his partner. He's like, well, you caught me cheating because you went through my phone, you invaded my privacy, and I had to forgive you for that. So I thought you forgave me for cheating. Otherwise, why did you take me back? And then his partner their partner asked them to, mend the relationships that they broke. And the narcissist comes back at him like, look, I didn't break those relationships. You did that by telling. Keep this stuff to yourself. Keep that type of stuff to yourself, because, in the narcissist brain, like, I would also, that was one of my biggest struggles in my relationship at the beginning too, because I thought my wife would be oversharing with her friends. You know what I mean? I thought she was just sharing too much with her friends and family and stuff like that, telling them too much about what was going on. So I would hate that. I was like, why are you telling everybody everything? I would ask her, why would she, tell everybody everything that was going on inside of our relationship? I was like, this is unnecessary for you to do this, because now that you're telling everybody what's going on in our relationship, I don't feel comfortable around them anymore, so I can't be around them anymore. That's how I used to isolate her from her like best friends and people like that. I'm like, well, if you keep your mouth shut, I wouldn't feel awkward about going around these people. So that's why I tell you, I'm a private person. And that doesn't blow over well with people that are very, very family oriented. So if you're very family oriented, you don't want to, I say this, you don't want to internalize all the stuff that you go through with a narcissist, because the more and more you internalize it and you don't let it out, the more poisonous it becomes to you. The more you internalize it, the more you hold it in, the more you stifle your emotions, the more you stifle the way you feel, the more you stifle everything about yourself and your personality to be with this person, the more it poisons you. Like, it's literally poisonous. It becomes poisonous to you. That's how a lot of people I talk to in my one-on-ones, they always say that they've lost themselves since they've been in this, toxic narcissistic relationship. They've lost themselves because they feel like their voice has been stifled, that their emotions don't matter, that their decisions don't matter. Anything that they say kind of goes in one ear and out the other. Or if they decide that they want to express their emotions, they completely shut down really, really quick. Like, why do you? Hey, can I talk about my feelings? What about your feelings? I don't want to talk about your feelings right now. Like, goodness gracious, your feelings. You're so needy. You're so emotional. You're too this. You're too that. You see that right there? I get so many people that talk to me, and they, and I know my wife used to say the same thing. She was just like, I would just keep it to myself, or I would tell one of my friends. I would rather have a conversation to one of my friends about something that I needed to talk about, rather than talk to you about it to avoid an argument. And if I found out that she would talk to her friends rather than talk to me about it, it would start an argument. Like, you don't trust me enough to talk to me about it, but of course she couldn't talk to me. It's a catch-22. Of course, if she would have came to me with the issue, I probably would have shut it down and wouldn't want to hear it anyway. So then she would end up having to talk to her friend regardless of the fact, but that didn't matter to the narcissist. You know what I mean? See, in this situation right here, it's like taking no accountability. Like, narcissists, we don't love accountability. Is like, narcissistic kryptonite. It's like the green rock that knocks off the green rock that takes out Superman, that does Superman in. So that's one of the things right there. I think, like I said, that people have a problem dealing with narcissists, like, accountability. And you see in this video, there was no accountability there. And he actually blamed the other person for going through his phone and invading his privacy to catch them. So don't do that. If you don't catch me, if you don't do this, you wouldn't have found out this. But you're but you were still, cheating. You were still doing something behind my back. But the narcissist is like, look, but we'd have still been happy if you wouldn't have found out. So you would have kind of been ignorant to the fact. So this is your fault. And then, here come the trust issues. The narcissist always love to bring up, a narcissist we love to use your trauma against you. That person, this particular narcissistic, the person who's in a relationship with the narcissist, happened to have daddy issues that she, disclosed, that he or she disclosed to the narcissist. And of course, bring them up. Your father issues are going to kill our relationship. Boom. Now you're angry because they brought that up. Now you're off topic. Now you're not talking about their friends anymore. Now you're probably, I don't know if you're raging and screaming and stuff like that, but you're not having the same conversation you had originally. Now the conversation has shifted from y'all now the conversation has shifted. Now the narcissist has successfully shifted the conversation from something that they didn't want to talk about to something that now they still don't want to talk about it, but now you're typically you get emotional, and here comes the reactive abuse. Now you might be screaming and yelling. Now the point you're trying to make has gotten clouded. So anytime it's this is the age-old thing where if you approach a narcissist with some questions, you end up with more you end up with more questions than answers, and that's the age-old adage of dealing with a narcissist. Like you really don't get the questions answered, and the relationship feels a one-sided. And I know people are like, how do we deal with that type of stuff? The only way you deal with that type of stuff like that, you have to say if you want to stay in that relationship, you have to say your piece, stand in your truth, and don't believe the gaslighter. Don't go back and forth. Why would you argue with somebody that's lying to you? You know what I mean? You're not going to get them off that point. You're not going to get them to change their minds. You're not going to get them to do anything of the sorts. So you have to stand in your truth. You're going to have to get your mind right. You're going to have to deal, without, you kind of have to battle with it right there. Don't go back and forth. I ain't saying battle with it. Don't go back and forth. Just end it. Just like, hey, look, we both know this is not true. If you really want to work this out, let's work it out. If not, do we need to separate? Keep it straight and to the point. You can't beat around the bush. You have to keep it straight to the point with a narcissist. Because the narcissists, we think we are logic based. We think we are logical. We remove emotions. So when you're talking to a narcissist, you probably need to try to remove emotions from the conversation, and just straight to the point. Don't dodge around the point. Don't dip, duck. Don't dip, duck. Do that. Go straight to the point. But anyways, y'all know I gotta cut this thing to the short, cut this thing to the end. I really truly appreciate every single one of y'all. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do that. I'm so thankful for every single one of y'all. Thank y'all so much. Like, subscribe, and catch me tomorrow. Tomorrow's episode of A Narcissist Explains. Mental Illness is out. Peace.